Ooh, it's your boy, Brian Timothy Petrie. Let me switch up this color here. What do we got? What does it matter? Yeah, we'll go with that. What's up? What's up? We got Devin. Devin's going to come on in a little bit. I want to hop on a little earlier. I tweeted out I was going to get on at 8:30. Check the time. It's 8:30. Your boy's punctual. Yeah, it's been a little bit since I feel like I went live, so I want to talk about the fights. Listen, not a great pay-per-view card. It's just not. I buy them all, and I'm, besides the main event and a couple other fights, little underwhelming to spend $70, if I'm being honest. Is it 70 or is it 65? Doesn't matter, but little underwhelmed to spend that money. But I want to hop on before we get old Devster on here. I do have to send him an email. Carry on. Yeah, so I got some complaints. Some Brian complaints here. We got here. There we go. We're live action. We're ready. So the studio is almost perfect, right? I got everything the way I want it. I got 2 monitors now, which I have no idea how I did anything with just one monitor. It's life-changing, right? If you have the means, get 2 monitors. It's unbelievable. You've heard me talk about it on the podcast. Order a new mic arm. Just sold this one. This one just got purchased. So I need to ship this off. Supposed to get it Wednesday. Now, you know me, okay? If you listen to the podcast, you know I'm not the easiest customer, okay? I'll yell at you, right? I'm impatient. Boom arm is supposed to be delivered on Wednesday. We've had a snowstorm here in the great area of Cincinnati. It left New Jersey on Monday. We're supposed to get here on Wednesday. Did not, right? Okay, sure. Didn't get delivered because of the snowstorm. All right. But it's still saying that it left New Jersey 3 days ago. Huh? When is it going to get here? So I call FedEx. They don't help me. This guy it's going to be there, blah, blah, blah. I mean, literally talk. I'm like, buddy, you're not trying to understand what I'm saying. He said, hey, it's going to get delivered tomorrow, which is today. Obviously didn't get delivered today. So I called the place I ordered it. BH Photo, which I've only ordered one thing from there. I'm a Sweetwater guy, but they had this boom arm that I wanted. A lot of people talk about how great a company are. They're a huge company. They rep a lot of people. A lot of people get sponsored videos from them. They have a great YouTube channel where they show you how to use audio stuff, video stuff. Again, I've only ordered one little thing from them. Don't really remember. So that's where this is coming from. So I call them. I email them first, and then I call them. Girl on the phone sounds like my daughter. Why is my camera blurry? Let me see. Sounds like my daughter, right? She sounds like she's 3 years old. That's just what it is. She sounds like she's 3 years old. All right, the camera things bother me. Anywho, oh, wait, what happened? Oh, okay. Well, I mean, I guess I changed it a little bit. What do you guys like better? You like that? You like widescreen? I like widescreen, but what? Let's not get so blurry here. Brightness. Well, we got it. This is what chicks like right here. Fucking get all washed out. Fucking look at that. That's how you fucking do it. I go super dark too. That's like a creep guy. Let's go. We'll keep that at 50. What it was. Contrast. What's this? Ooh. This is like Instagram filter shit right here. We'll keep that at 50% too. Autofocus. Yeah, autofocus checked on. Don't get out of focus, man. Huh? Anyway, this 3-year-old that I talked to on FedEx was literally didn't understand the concept that it left New Jersey and hadn't arrived here yet. She did not understand that concept. And it was it was a tough conversation because I'm a little bit of an asshole. But let's see here. He should change his email to Chalk Tejada. That's what he is. I guarantee you he picks Chalk. Before he gets on, he's not watching this, right? And oh, God damn it. I haven't recorded yet. I'm going to record right now. Fuck. I've done that. I literally, I got to have a note. I got to have something posted. I got to get something commissioned that says, Brian, press record. So I'm going to press record again. You're going to hear the intro music again. Okay. This is a rough start already. Let's go. Fuck.
This is the MMA Takes Podcast with your host, Brian Petrie.
Yo. All right. So that first half of Brian's complaints did not make the podcast. You guys are probably tired of hearing me complain anyway. So welcome to the MMA Takes podcast. Yeah, we're up and rolling. We're live and direct, baby. We're here. We're gonna make picks. I believe I emailed Devin, so his chalk ass should be on any seconds. We'll fire him off and we'll get these picks underway. Not a great card to pick from. Tough card. You need a big brain like me to decipher some of these things. I got some picks. I'm gonna do my prop show tomorrow night. Tomorrow night with Tim, the champ. We're gonna do a DraftKings DFS lineup thing. That's what he's into. He knows a lot about it. I'm gonna let him take the lead on that. I'm just gonna kind of follow his lead, and then we're gonna do some props as well. We're gonna do that tomorrow night, probably 9 o'clock. A little late on Friday. We'll do it up. But like I said, Devin's probably not watching right now. So I'm going to predict what he's going to pick. Okay. I'm going to try to predict. And if he is watching, then maybe I'm just trying to fuck him up. He doesn't know what's going on. He doesn't know what the fuck to do. I'm messing with his head. I think he wants to pick Burns, but he'll go Usman. I think that's what he does. Barber, Grasso, he's going Grasso. He hates Barber, right? He hates anybody with a little bit of hype that has lost, that has stumbled. He's going opposite. I know that for a fact. He's going Grasso. I think he's maybe even said it to me. Maybe that's how I know. Marquez versus Patolo. He likes Patolo. I've seen him say a lot of things about Patolo, but I bet he goes to chalk play with Marquez. Gaslam Highness. I don't really know what he's going to go with that because he's loved Gaslam in the past and then he shitted on him. That's a tough one for me. Gaslam's a pretty big favorite. He is chalk to Hada. He'll probably go the chalk on that one. Andre Ewell versus Chris Gutierrez. Ewell's the underdog. I think he's going to make that his underdog lock. I think he likes Andre Ewell a lot. Polyana Viana versus Mallory Martin. I don't think he's going to care too much. I think he maybe will be like, you know what, give me the dog, and because it's a female fight. But he could go chalky with Mallory Martin. I don't know. But I'm going to say Viana to go to the underdog points. Gabe Green versus Phil Rowe. I know he loves Phil Rowe. Phil Rowe's an underdog. That actually might be his underdog lock. He's going to go Phil Rowe. I think he's going to go Phil Rowe heavy. That's going to be his pick. Guarantee it. Rodolfo Vieira versus Anthony Hernandez. Rivera, this should be a squash match. Hernandez doesn't belong in the UFC, and Vieira is a fucking stud. Minus 430. Huge favorite. Probably the biggest favorite in the card. Maybe, no, Bilal Muhammad is, but huge favorite. He's probably going to make him either his mortal lock or send him home. Guaranteed picking that. He's not touching Hernandez. Julian Robertson versus Miranda Maverick. I think he'll go chalk. I think he'll go Maverick on that one. Ricky Simone versus Brian Kellner. I think he hates Simone. He's talked a lot of shit about Simone. I know Tim has. Tim does not like Ricky Simone. I don't think he'll have the balls to play plus 210 on Kellner. I think he'll go the safe play there and go Simone. Bobby Green versus Jim Miller. I think he'll probably go Bobby Green. I think we all like Bobby Green. These speeches have been fucking motivational. They've been great. I think he'll go Bobby Green. I don't know. Bilal Muhammad versus Diego Lima. He'll go Bilal Muhammad. He's not touching Diego Lima, but that's what I think he's going to do. I think he's going to be torn on the main event, which I think we all are. The main event is a fucking exceptional fight. Unreal fight. I love Usman. Usman's my guy, but unreal main event. I know if I had to put money on it, and again, I think this might be cheating because I do think he did tell me in our text that he was taking Grasso, but I guarantee he's taking Grasso. That you could put it to the bank he's taking her. He does not like Macy Barber. Yeah, and then I think he'll undoubtedly take Rodolfo Vera as some kind of to send him home, to get him out of here, or the mortal lock. That's his MO. Heavy chalk. I'm in this guy's fucking head. I'm in his head. We had a draw last time, right? And he counted as a win for him. Him and I literally picked the same amount of fights, right? Well, actually, I picked more fights right than him, but the way the scoring up, we draw. There was a draw. There's nothing you can do. It's a tie. He counts it as a win, right? Right? He counts as a win. This guy's fucking delusional. You know what I mean? This guy's got something wrong with him. He's a picker. He's not a gambler. He picks like a picker. I'm in his fucking head. I know what he's going to do. I don't know when he's going to get on here. I mean, I'm fucking just chewing time right now. Jesus. Join my milk. I don't drink milk. Join my Gus's Fried Chicken. Free ad. You ever been to Gus's Fried Chicken? It'll blow your fucking dick off. So good. They should sponsor the podcast so I can say that on the podcast. Pay me money. Hey, go to Gus's Fried Chicken. They have several locations. It'll blow your dick off. And if you're a female, blow your tits off. Boom. You're gonna sell $1 million worth of fried chicken every night. Sign me up, Gus. Sign me up. Little MMA news. Khamzat Chimaev pulled out Leon Edwards fight. Fucking yeah, no shit. Hey, Chimaev.
Let me tell you something. You're suspect.
You're suspect, bro. All right. I had COVID, got over it. I'm younger. Oh, I think you're younger than me. You're an athlete and all this stuff. Come on, dude. I'm thinking what's happening is, yeah, he might have some after effects of COVID, right? I'll smash every weekend. They smash. I think this guy probably got laid for the first time, probably got some pussy for the first time. He wasn't fucking anything with that cleft lip, right? Now he's this huge star. He starts getting a little pussy. He's not training as much, right? His buddy Grum, who was supposed to fight my guy Dom Madge, he pulled out too. Now Dom Madge is fighting Nasrat. Something's fucking fishy going on. These guys are either spending money or out there banging broads, snorting coke. They're getting hurt in training. Something's going on. I got my fucking ears to the streets. I'm not gonna be one of these little pussy Twitter guys. It's like, oh, you know what? Listen, COVID is very real, right? People are losing lives. It's horrible, right? I don't need to say that, but you also don't need to get on Twitter when you're, oh, this is such a set. No, we want to see the fucking fight. Quit making the fight. This guy I feel like he's pulling out of the fight. There you go. My boy Christian, he's always on it. This dude right here, this dude is committed. I love this guy. I got to get him on the podcast. Christian, I want you on the podcast again. I want him on the podcast. This guy's a cool guy. We got to get him on. He's a gambler. I love it. Ready for fucking Dev to come on so I can mop the floor with them. But I do want to mix up some of the pick'ems. I mean, Tim's the champ. Tim's got to stay until he loses. I don't know when he's going to fucking lose. The guy's on fucking fire. But yeah, I want to mix up. I do have people reaching out to me wanting to get on. Christian, I don't think he's ever reached out to me wanting to come on, but he's always a supporter of the podcast. I see his Twitter game is nice and he likes to gamble. So I need that guy on. I need that guy in my life. I need some more of them from the Emma Takes podcast. That's what I need. Positive energy, baby. But looking up and down this card, there's only maybe 3 fights I love. I'm not going to probably put a ton. Like last weekend, I painted the board. I had 11 bets or something like that. I had a ton of bets last weekend. I don't know if I'm going to do that. I definitely going to go heavy on one fighter, which you'll find out when we actually start recording, because right now I'm just treading water for Chalk Tejada to finish his dump. Actually, no, there might be 2 fighters that I'm going to go heavy on. This could be interesting. We'll see how it plays out. We'll see how Devin picks. I think I already know his picks. I told you I went through. I think I already think I know who he's taking. So I got to go Oppo if I want to win some points. And that's what I'm going to do. You know what it is? I try to sell this guy, Devin. Try to sell him my old laptop, right? Perfect condition. This guy's got to restart his computer like 10 times for the camera to work. My camera works fine. Let's start a GoFundMe for Devin Tejada to buy my old laptop at a beautiful price. I mean, I'm talking beautiful price. What's that dimple in my hand? You see that? I got hand dimples. How many people got hand dimples? What is that? Huh? I don't know. I don't have dimples on my face. I got fucking hand dimples. Name another person that got that. All right. Treading water here. Yeah, but again, got live on YouTube. Yeah, this card is tough to pay $70 for. Like I said, hair is wild. Got to put a hat on. It's not the most comfortable with the things. I had a dream. I had a ponytail last night, like a full-fledged Steven Seagal ponytail, and I cut it off like at a party. Which, I mean, first off, I would never have a Steven Seagal ponytail. Second off, I don't go to parties anymore. Not because of COVID, because I'm a dad. I have 2 kids. But I cut it off in the middle of party as like my party trick. And like I remember my wife being like in the dream being so mad at me. I woke up like that was fucking weird. I look pretty badass though. I mean, if I'm gonna rock a Steven Seagal ponytail, I'm rocking a kimono with it. Or is that what it is? Yeah, kimono, whatever he wears. That's a guy I like to fight. I would fight Steven Seagal for free. I really would. I'd fight him for free. I mean, you maybe pay me $500, $200. I would smack that guy around. I know he's older, he's fat, he's tall, he's out of shape. But when I grew up, I loved action movies. I watched Chuck. I watched Patrick Swayze. I watched Jean-Claude Van Damme, Schwarzenegger, Stallone. I mean, the beefier, the better. Steven Seagal, Under Siege, all that shit just fell flat for me. The guy sucks. And then him inserting himself into mixed martial arts, like he was training Silva and all this stuff. Like, the guy's a fucking clown, right? You ever seen his like little demonstrations when he's in Russia and he's like tossing guys with these little wrist locks? You know, he's just like this. And he's just like tossing guys. Fuck that guy. Fuck him and fuck Snoop Dogg. I want to snap. I could pick Snoop Dogg up like this, snap him in half. Guy's like 60 years old, malnourished. His bones are probably like chalk. And I would just pick him up and disrespecting MMA the way he does. Fuck Snoop Dogg. Fuck Steven Seagal. There's a lot of celebrities out there that think they can fight that I would love to fight. I'm not, this is just, I'm treading water right now. I mean, I'm here to pick fights. I'm here to make money. I can't start until this fucking gabagool, this fucking jamoke shows up here. I probably shouldn't have hit record until we got on, because when if people are only going to listen to this audio form, they're going to be like, what is this guy doing? Oh, well, maybe I'll edit. Maybe I'll actually edit something. I hear my baby crying in the background. Wife's been sick. Don't know what it is. What's the dude from work plays this weekend? What's that dude from work that? Yeah. I don't know, Christian. I didn't see him today. We've been working. It's been weird with the snowstorm, so I didn't see him today. I've asked him. He hasn't given me the pick yet, the play yet. I'm gonna text him right now and see if he responds. Doing the podcast live, putting the pressure on him. What's your play for this weekend? The guy's got a hot hand. I mean, it's embarrassing, but listen, when you got to go with someone's hot. As much as it hurts me, you got to go with someone's hot. I know he was watching. Live viewers. Okay, so we got. Do I cannot see who's watching? I don't think I can. He usually watches via Twitter. Hopefully, if he's on Twitter, Danny, if you're watching, please comment in the chat. I want to know your pick this weekend. I just texted you, you fucking girl. Hopefully, he responds back. Yeah, this guy's. What we got here? Something happened. Gilbert Burns by 1 million. That was my buddy Jarrett. He is not the hot hand. If you want to talk about cold hands, this is a guy who has the coldest hands in the world. This is a dude. Speaking of Macy Barber, we talk all week, right, about this parlay he's going to play. He's so excited. I can't remember who exactly was in it. 4-fight player parlay. He said, and then he just texted me about Burns by submission. Okay. 4-fight parlay. And I'm going to Indiana to place the bets for him. This is before we could do mobile betting. So I had to stand in the kiosk line. I'm literally in line. And I got his guys on my phone, the text message of all 4 guys he wants. He then texts me literally right before I get to the machine. Oh, add Macy Barber on there too. This was the Macy Barber Roxanne Modafferi fight. She was plus 1,000, I think, maybe even 1,100. She provided maybe $3 to this parlay. He said, add her in. I want her in there. And I didn't have enough time to maybe talk him out of it, whatever. Place a bet for him. It's the only fight that lost. He would have won 200 something bucks. I think it was a $10 parlay. He would have won 200 something bucks, maybe 300. His biggest win ever. But the Macy Barber fucked him, right? This is a guy who is the epitome, the definition of a cold hand, okay? He has Gilbert Burns by submission. I suggest if you're watching this or listening to this, go the opposite way. Even though I'm a newsman guy and Gilbert Burns is a lot better than I think people are giving him credit for. And I actually think he's getting proper credit. I think everyone knows this is going to be an amazing fight. This guy's so cold though that that might be a bad bet. He's that fucking cold. But the hot hand hasn't responded yet. He doesn't have an iPhone. He has a fucking Android like a dork. I was gonna call him. Oh, put him on the podcast. Call him up. I could send him a link and get him on here. He won't do it. He's got kids though. 850. I don't think. I mean, we work the same time. I hope he's on bed already. All right, Dev. Time to get off the pot, pal. I'm gonna text him. Tick. You are late. And we'll see what he does. Oh, I got computer problems. My screen won't come on. I broke it in half. Well, yeah, that's a problem. It's a problem, dude. I want to get these picks done. My mom went to 11-2 last week. She makes her picks off her ESPN pictures. Yeah, my mom is really good at picking NFL. I did way worse. Yeah, she does her picks off the NFL picks off of the color of the jerseys. So she's a big fan of Seahawks. She's a big fan of Carolina Panthers. So she's got a hot hand as well. Yeah. That's the thing is like, listen, I've always said any asshole can pick a fight, but you got to do it consistently. Now, has my month of January consistent? No, it hasn't been. Has my February started off hot? No, I was so close last week. My slime ball was shit. My slime ball parlay went to shit right away, but I was so close. Manel Cop, Gaslam, prop bet Gaslam doesn't make weight. Okay. That's the cold hand. The cold hand is saying Gaslam doesn't make weight. Again, let's not listen to the cold hand. Okay, guys. Let's not listen to that guy. All right. Devin has ignored my texts. I'm going to give him 8 more minutes. And if he does not answer or get on, I'm going to start fucking picking. And then we're just going to have to go from there. Man with the strap in the house. Timbo in the chat. I love it. And that guy's the hot hand. Chalk boy late, huh? Yeah, Tim, he's late, as always. Fucking computer problems, dog problem. His dog ate a chicken bone or something. This guy's always got a fucking excuse. Pooping, ran out of toilet paper, had to go hike his mountains where, in the town he lives in. I'm going hard on Devin tonight just because it's a competition. I'm fired up. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to fucking do this. I'm caffeined up. I'm well fed. It's 9:00 at night. I got an hour to my bedtime. I'm ready to do these picks. Yeah, look at that. Tim fucking with the fire hits. Follow Bet the Best 3 on Twitter. Get him on iTunes. Get him on Spotify. Bet the Best with Timbo and the Bear. Or Tim and the Bear, excuse me. Good podcast. Great podcast. Just starting out, I believe 3 episodes in, I think. If you like winning money, if you like cashing checks, here we go. So episode 3 just dropped today. I got to listen to that. I haven't listened to that today. I haven't listened to that yet, but listen, they're hot on NBA. Woo! I can't even I love all sports. I keep an eye on all sports, but I can't predict the NBA. You could, again, I go with Christian's mom theory. I pick fucking based off uniforms. You know what I mean? I have no idea. NFL, I used to do good. That's what I started off really betting over unders in NFL and fucking killing it. And then I went, what am I doing? MMA. And then that's what kind of started this podcast. The whole thing. I went back and I go back and I listen to the very first podcast every once in a while. So podcast 1 was, it was what it was, right? It was like 29 minutes. And then podcast 2, 3, and 4, the microphone I had was a USB microphone, wasn't even plugged into the computer. So it was me talking, basically using the computer's microphone. And it sounded like I was in a bucket, essentially. Right. So that's fun times. Those are fun times. And then literally when I first started, it wasn't, I guess it was kind of gambling. Now the gambling's really shifted because gambling is so prevalent in today's world. Every state's going to have it. Ohio, hopefully the DeWine, governor of Ohio, finally said, no, we're getting it because Indiana's kicking our ass. They made $250 million in the month of November. Michigan has it, who's in the north of us. They're kicking ass. Virginia, where my man Tim's at, they just launched. They're kind of in that Ohio Valley, so to speak, they're murdering it. And then Pennsylvania, who's on the border all the way eastern Ohio, they're killing it. Like West Virginia has it too. We border West Virginia. The only border state that doesn't have it for us is Kentucky, and they're a fucking bunch of bozos. They have horse racing. My wife's from Kentucky. I mean, I goddamn hillbillies over there. They got to get the sports gambling in. And Ohio just dropped the ball. They just dropped the ball big time. I can't wait. What's going to happen is when I can bet from my house, I'm either going to own multiple houses or own 0 houses. Because I'll no. Bet responsibly. Bet responsibly, guys. Okay. Follow my picks. Okay. And we'll bet responsibly. Got some texts here. Let's see if it's from old Chalky. Tech issues. Won't pick up my camera. I'm going to try again. Dev, buy my computer, bud. Let's go fund me this guy. I'm telling you, a couple $100, you'll get a brand new computer. This will never happen again. I mean, it also probably does. It probably hurts that he's got fucking rocks for brains. If Jim Miller has a good first round, hammer Bobby Green live. That's Christian's play. Christian's free advice. He's giving out free picks. The cold hand at work. Slime ball parlay. Trademark cold hand. Yeah, I'm gonna fucking sue you. Ricky Simone, Bilal Muhammad, Bobby King Green is a slime ball parlay. You know what? Cold hand. I don't hate it. A lot of people like Brian Kellner. He's a fun follow on Twitter. He's really active as of late. But listen, Ricky Simone, I think, is a beast. Tim doesn't think he's a beast. Hammer Tim in the chat and say, "Yo, champ, what's up with Simone?" Timbo, are you taking Simone? Yeah. Dev's got that. Yeah. 2005 fucking MacBook edition. Yeah, he does. And it's riddled with animal porn. That's why it won't fucking turn on. I don't hate it, but I can see Jim Lynn catching him in a choke. Okay. So a little extension. Jim Miller, nice size underdog here. Bobby Green, more athletic. I think probably a little more in the prime of his career than Miller. But listen, that number next to Miller is enticing. Timbo, what do you think about Brian Kellner over Simone? You have said some very unnice things about Ricky Simone in the past. Simone will win the decision. I'll prop that. Look at that. That's the champ right there. Champ giving out free picks. He's not even involved in the thing. I love it. Again, he's got 3 minutes, and I'm starting, boys. Listen. I've been treading water for 22 minutes. Okay, I'm a great fucking swimmer. But we got to get these picks on. We got to do it. Here we go. Here he is.
Dude, it's always something.
It's a hot. I hear you crystal clear, buddy. I've been treading water for 20 minutes.
You jumped in early.
So we're jumping in even early, right into the card. First fight of the night. Gillian Robertson, 9-5. She is a plus 122 underdog fighting Miranda Maverick. VA. Stand up. Miranda Maverick. Minus 150 favorite. She is 8-2. Dev, do you want to go first? You want me to go first?
I'll go first. I have no problem with that.
Go for it, pal.
I'll take it. What's the line on that? You didn't give me a line.
Yeah, I did give you a line.
What is it?
Plus 122. Jillian Roberts is the underdog. Plus 122. Miranda Maverick is a minus 150 favorite.
So
Mavi coming in the favorite here over Gillian Roberts. Excuse me.
This is the problem with Gillian Roberts. If she can't force the grappling on you, and if it's like she's a one-way street type of fighter. If she doesn't get what she wants, even off of her back, like we saw in her last fight, off of her back, she was not successful in the grappling. She's a halfway decent jiu-jitsu player. She's not a good striker. She doesn't like to be pressured. I think Miranda Maverick can stay in her face, put pressure on her, and kind of do what Macy Barber did to her, just make her melt. I really think Miranda Maverick has clean striking. She's got good Muay Thai, good elbows. Her last fight, she put a crazy gash on her opponent, and I just think she can do the same thing to Gillian Roberts. I don't think Gillian Roberts is good enough on the ground to employ that to employ that crazy pressure and just human blanket her. I don't think she can do that. I just don't think she's good enough to do it. I don't think she's athletic enough. I don't think she has the fast blast double takedown to do so. Jillian Roberts has been kind of a bust in the UFC, I think. I really do think Miranda Maverick's something. I'm surprised by the line though, because this is Miranda Maverick's second fight in the UFC. So I'm excited that they do have her as a favorite, because that means that, we aren't the only ones that think highly of her. I have a feeling you're probably on the same thing I'm on. I have a feeling you're going to also take her.
Yeah. I'm going to take Miranda Maverick. I also think the finish is in play here. I think Jillian Robertson's a tough, durable girl. She's coming off a loss. She got beat up on the ground pretty bad. But Miranda Maverick, I think, is a different beast. I think Jillian Robertson gets hit a lot. I think her only way to win is submission on the ground. I don't see that happening. I see her, as tough as she is and as multiple losses she has, she's not she doesn't get finished a lot. But I do like Miranda Maverick at minus 150. I'm glad she's a favorite here. I also like the prop, the finish, which I have right in front of me. Which I like it two ways. I might double chance it, but method of victory, Maverick by KO is a plus 500, and Maverick by points is a plus 150. I like both those. I don't think she'll submit Jillian Robertson, but I like both those props as well. All right, next fight of the night. We got Gabe Green 9-3 versus Phil Rowe 7-2. Phil Rowe is a plus 124 underdog, and Gabe Green is a minus 152 favorite. That surprised me a little bit. Gabe Green is a solid fighter. He's tough. Phil Rowe, coming off the Contender Series, trains at a good camp, making his UFC debut. He's been hurt a lot. I know before you got on, you're going to have to listen back to the podcast, Devin. I predicted every single guy who you're going to pick. So I know you're going Phil Rowe, so I'm going Phil Rowe. As the underdog play, I was surprised he's the underdog. I get it. He's making his UFC debut. Gabe Green's a tough, durable guy. Didn't get finished. Has a stone head, but he doesn't really do anything that overwhelms me. Like, he's a pretty good grappler. He can probably take Phil Rowe down, but Phil Rowe is long, lanky. I feel like he knows that's coming. I think he's going to be able to keep – if he goes to the ground, work his way back up. He's got good submissions. He's got long legs, probably some good triangles, good arm bars. Work his way back up and really piece him up on the feet. I think he has a reach advantage and is just – I think he's going to go out there and make a statement. So that's my pick. I'm going to go Phil Rowe plus 124. Dev, who you got? I already know who you got, dude. I'm in your fucking head. I know. Tell me.
Yeah, the win against the Shabazian brother in Contender Series was a little bit sketchy for Phil Rowe because he got worked real bad in that first round. He had the pressure put on him. He got beat up pretty bad. I think he was down 2 rounds before he came out and got that finish there in the third.
It's a 3-round fight, baby. It's a 3-round fight.
But his defense worries me. He's got good boxing. He's got crisp striking. He throws a lot of straight punches. He's pretty durable, as we saw from the Shabazian brother. He was able to take that punishment. I'm gonna go Phil Rowe because I don't think Gabe Green. I don't think Gabe Green is very technically sound. I think Gabe Green gets hit a lot. I think Gabe Green is really, really tough, and he can stay in Phil Rowe's face. And if he can do what the Shabazian brother did for 2 rounds and not get finished, he wins the fight, obviously. Mm-hmm. So if he can get 2 10-9s, and then lose a 10-9, he still wins the fight. I just think Phil Rowe comes from a better camp. He's got great training partners. I know he's with Jacare and them all the time. His body type worries me because guys like that tend to have a lot of injuries.
He's pulled out of like fucking every fight,
like broken toes and shit like that. Guys. And this is not a jab at Sean O'Malley, but he's just the first person that comes to my head. Guys like him with that body type,
I'll do it.
They get injured a lot. They get hurt a lot. And it worries me, especially him like pulling out for a broken toe and shit like that. So I hope he's got it all together. I hope he's put everything together and he's going to come perform.
They actually both fought Leon Shabazian. Both have a win over him. Gabe Green knocked him out back in 2017 in the round 1. And obviously Phil Rowe did on the Contenders on round 3. Gabe Green has lost to Jalen Turner by knockout. That's another long, rangy striker. He got knocked out by Randon Abafa, who I do not know. That was in the first round as well. And then his loss in the UFC was to Daniel Rodriguez, who's another tall, he's 6'1"-ish striker as well. So I like where Phil Rowe's out here. I like that he's the dog here. Gabe Green is tough. He's pretty durable. But I see Phil Rowe taking this fight over, and we're both on Rowe there. All right, next up you got Ricky Simone, 17-3. He is a minus 265 favorite. He is fighting Brian Kelleher. Kelleher, 22-11 plus 210. This fight is at 145. Brian Kelleher has been bragging all week that he's in the best physical shape of his life because he has not had to cut weight. Dev, this is your lead here. You like Simone or Kelleher, bud? You taking a shot at dog? You going dog chasing here or what?
For whatever reason, I just don't like Ricky Simone. There's just something about him I don't like. I think Tim's on the same shit. We just don't like that dude.
Don't not like him.
But do you like him?
Yes, I do like him.
Do you? That's probably why I don't like him.
You and Tim both. I mean, he's not like my guy, but I do like him. You and Tim both. Tim has said some very mean things about Simone.
He's probably blocked by him as well.
Yeah. Tim's blocked by half the UFC roster. That's for sure.
He I want to see him. I've never seen any of his Instagram or Twitter battles with them, but I've
seen the comments. I haven't seen him get blocked recently. I don't pay that close attention, but his comments are I mean, he goes after Schaub quite a bit over some stuff, which is pretty funny. But yeah, Tim's a champ. You know, Tim can do whatever he wants.
Fucking savage. You know, the nights, his gambling nights. You know, who knows what he's got going on?
He knows what to do.
He's getting savage.
What you got, man? Dog or what?
I think that Ricky Simone he's got a good gas tank. We've gone over this with him before. He's fought recently. He's got a good gas tank, got a good motor, decent striking, decent power, good top control game. Kelleher probably has top 4 deadliest guillotines in the UFC.
Pretty nasty.
Like when you shoot on him, if you shoot a blast double, or even you go for like a high crotch, he snatches that neck. He's fucking good at it.
He is.
He's a small 135er already. He's not the biggest dude for 35. I don't love that this fight is at 45 because I don't think that favors him. I think this fight being at 35 favors him. I think Ricky Simone has to cut more weight to make 35. Brian Kelleher has good striking. You know, he's got finishes on his record. He's coming off a recent finish. I just don't. I think his way to win this fight is to snatch that guillotine when Ricky Simone shoots a takedown, and I just don't think. I don't like the odds of it.
Dude, you're gonna regret passing that. I guarantee it, because if Kelleher wins,
I'm gonna kill myself.
I fucking told you,
because I like Kelleher.
Well, take the bet, dude.
What's the line? What's the line?
It's minus 265. So nice little almost 3-1. Kelleher's plus 210.
So if it's plus 300 or more, whoever picks Simone loses a point. Right? If it's plus, you said 3-1 odds. So if it's
no, not 3-1 yet.
Minus. So if it's minus 300, then we would lose a point. Say I picked him.
Only if you make him your mortal lock.
Only
if you just pick a chalky player, that's fine. But if you make them your mortal lock, then you'll lose a point.
It's tough for me because it's like one of those things where I want to will into existence. I gotta go Simone. I don't like it, but I gotta do it.
I mean, I'm all over Simone on this. This is a fight that's been made multiple times. I think Kelleher, you're right. I mean, Kelleher's he's got decent boxing, but he got outboxed by Cody Stamann. And Simone walked through that dude he fought last time, who was that European guy that came over kind of on short notice. A
kickboxer.
Yeah, Simone is a beefy, strong dude, and he's gonna do what he wants with Kelleher. I think Kelleher staying up in boxing is decent. I think Simone's better everywhere, better cardio. He does have to watch his neck. That's the thing. If Kelleher gets that neck, it's a fucking wrap. I don't see him getting the neck though, so I'm gonna go Simone as well. Sorry, Kelleher. It is what it is. All right, next fight. Good fight. Andre Ewell, 17-6. He is a plus 124 underdog. He's fighting Chris Gutierrez on short notice here, 15-3-2. He is a minus 152 favorite. I take the lead here. Andre Ewell tested positive for COVID, and unlike your boy Chimaev, 2 weeks later he's fighting because he's not a little bitch like Khamzat. But Andre Ewell being the underdog here surprised me. Chris Gutierrez is a guy who has a lot of fights, decent wins, has fought a lot of good people, and maybe I'm just underestimating him. He had a draw with Cody Durden. He looked fantastic against Vince Morales. And then the rest of his fights in UFC aren't really, to me, all that impressive. He lost to Hany Barcelos way back in 2018. But other than that, I'm not really blown away by this guy. Andre Ewell, I think he came out his last time out and he looked really good. New haircut, new tattoos. Irwin Rivera beat him by a split decision, which I didn't think was a split decision. I think he won that fight cleanly. His striking looked on point. The biggest knock on Ewell was he's hittable and he can get taken down. Gutierrez, I don't think he's going to take him down. He's going to try to chop out those legs, and it's going to be a stand-up fight. I like Andre Ewell here at the plus number. I like plus 124 Andre Ewell. I think this should be a dead pick'em fight, if I'm being honest with you, and I think that's going to move that way once we get closer to Saturday. But I like Andre Ewell at plus money against a guy who I think is really unproven against anybody in the UFC. Andre Ewell has fought way better names, and Chris Gutierrez, good camp, good striking, good leg kicks, all that. I just think it's Andre Ewell's fight to lose here, and a little surprised at the number. So I'm going to take plus 124. Andre Ewell, take it to the bank. Dev.
Yeah, that's a good. I was surprised when I saw the line too. I don't really understand why Ewell is a dog, because he definitely has more of a name than Gutierrez. I think that it's a tough fight to pick. I really do feel like it should be pick 'em odds. It should be a dead even fight. Like I was just saying, I'm surprised Ewell's the underdog. Ewell is hittable, but he has good striking. Like he's pretty technical. He's not really 100% defensively sound, and he gets taken down a lot. I don't think Gutierrez is gonna take him down. Gutierrez does have a lot of finishes. He's got leg kick finishes. He knocked out Jimmy Flick. Jimmy Flick's kind of chinny, but he's still good. Jimmy Flick's basically got one of the submissions of the year in 2020. He's a good fighter. And even though he is fighting down a weight class at 125, I don't love the number, but since you're going Ewell, I'm going to go with Gutierrez to just be able to maybe squeeze out a decision and outstrike him. I like the underdog play for Ewell. I think if you're a betting man, that I'm only picking Gutierrez, for the game we're playing against each other, just so we can split. Because if we pick everything the same, then
right.
No,
I think a really good bet here as well. Let me look it up. Is even though Gutierrez does have a finish over Vince Morales with leg kicks, I don't see that happening here. Andre Ewell has some decent power, but he's not knocking fucking dudes out.
He's not flatlining dudes, but he can put you in trouble.
I think goes to the distance. So total rounds over 2.5 is a minus 250, under 1. So your best bet is just to take Ewell straight up. They don't have a full list of props on that fight because it just got made like Sunday. So the props haven't been fully listed on that fight yet, but I like the fight to go to the distance. You can parlay that with another prop, but yeah, I like that you went opposite, playing the game. But I do think this fight is a pick 'em fight. I think it's close, but when you're going to give me a plus number on Ewell, I'm going to
take him. Yeah, you have to.
All right, next fight. Let's kind of speed through this fight because these chicks, who cares, right? Pauliana Viana, who's 11-4. She is a plus 128 underdog. She's fighting Mallory Martin, who is 7-3. Minus 158 favorite. Mallory Martin is the better half of Deron Wynn.
Is she though?
Yeah, she's dating Deron Wynn. I don't know if they're married, but they've been together.
I don't know if they're together anymore.
Yeah, because he just on. I think
Twitter, he beat her up.
No, he just on Twitter called out Tim Welch Tim Welch said he wanted to bang her. O'Malley's coach.
Oh God.
Yeah, Deron just called him out. Hold on, let's see. He doesn't tweet that much, so it should be.
I would pay to see that fight.
What, Tim Welch and Deron?
Yes.
Yeah. Hey, Tim Welch, I don't know what type of weird shit y'all got going on over there, but I'm going to slap the fuck out of you when I see you next. Keep my girl's name out of your mouth. I'm not that guy. This will be the only time we discuss this. You understand? And Tim Welch responded, was more of a compliment anyways. I'm not the only person who thinks Mallory is cute, but yes, I understand she is taken. Fuck.
Let's see.
He said something on the podcast where he wanted to fuck her or something like that. Anyway.
Don't say shit like that. Don't be saying shit like that unless you're gonna throw down, dude. Otherwise, keep your fucking mouth shut.
I don't know whose turn it is, but I'm gonna go. I'm unimpressed with either of these chicks.
True.
Pauliana is coming off a nice arm bar or leg bar. I can't remember. Either way, she's the underdog. I'm taking Pauliana. That's it. That's my breakdown of this fight.
It's like both of them. Pauliana Viana is supposed to be like a great grappler, but then like supposedly whatever organization she won those championships in are like some bogus ass fucking organizations. I heard that come out. Mallory Martin was on some podcast. I think it was think it was on MMA Fighting I was listening to a couple months ago after she beat Hannah Cyphers, which is a big fucking deal, saying that she was like went through some shit, but she was like super, vague about it. And I was like, and I didn't see any posts with her and Ron Win. I was like, did he beat her up or something weird? Because she said she went through like some really bad shit. I know, it's just weird. I think Mallory Martin likes to grapple. I think Polyana Viana can keep it on the feet or take her down because Polyana is supposedly a BJJ black belt with some sort of championships. I just don't like either one of them. What's the number for
Polyana plus 128 and Martin a minus 158?
Kind of like right where it should be. I'll play Polyana too because I like Mallory Martin less.
Copy. All right, next up, Diego Lima, 15-7. He is a plus 330 underdog, biggest underdog on the card. He is fighting Bilal Muhammad, 17-3, minus 450 favorite. Dev, you go first here. This is kind of a
Bilal Muhammad.
Cool. According to Vegas, this is a squash match. Bilal Muhammad. Yeah, I'm going Bilal Muhammad as well. I hate the number. I'm not going to touch his fight. Listen, Diego Lima is a guy that has surprised people. He's made it to the Ultimate Fighter twice. This is the guy who I think is his brother's amazing, and he's in his brother's shadow. Bilal Muhammad's a guy who's been caught before. He's been knocked out before. He's been touched before, but has a little bit of a name right now. Like he's got a great record. He's got some really good wins. He can strike. He can grapple. I hope he comes out and wants to grapple in this fight. I don't love his boxing to the extent where I think he needs to come out and box a guy like this. So Bilal Muhammad, I don't understand why he's that high. The highest on the card at minus 450.
It's the name, dude. It's his name. And I don't really know why he has a name because
he's great of a name.
He's just popular within the MMA community.
Yeah, it's a weird spot. I wrote down hate it. I'm definitely not going to touch this. I'm not going to parlay it. It scares me a little bit because Diego has surprised in the past. I do think he has some good power because he has slept some dudes, and Bilal Muhammad has been caught in the past. But
even his last fight, he got touched up a bit. 450
scares me, dude. It scares me off. I'm not going to touch that. But we both are on the heavy chalk there. Yeah. Next up, Rodolfo Vieira, another chalky fight, 7-0. He's a minus 430 favorite. He is fighting Anthony Hernandez, 7-2, plus 320. I'll go first here, and I'm taking the fucking Vieira. Come on, dude. Anthony Hernandez does not belong in the OC. Vieira is a guy who I do not think is a complete martial artist. I think his striking is very rough. I think his body is just like ripped up. I think he's incredibly strong. His jiu-jitsu is some of the best ever in MMA. He's one of the most decorated jiu-jitsu practitioners in the world. He had a huge cut his last time out, and probably would the fight would have got stopped if he didn't submit the guy and finish him. So he's got heart. He's got some toughness in him. Anthony Hernandez is a guy who faces enough as a striker, right? But has some submissions on the ground. He can't get if he goes to the ground, he's fucking dead. I think this is going to be a squash match. Rodolfo Vieira. Now, that's a guy at 430. We were just talking about Bilal Muhammad being unplayable for me at minus 450. I think he's playable at 430. And a parlay, if you got a bankroll, fucking go straight up. But I like this spot. I think Anthony Hernandez is as bad as I think he's worse than people expect him to be. Let me just put it that way. He's worse. Like people are like, no, he's worse. So Dev, who you got? Go Hernandez. I dare you. Dare you.
It's like you know what I think this fight will look like? The Aljamain Sterling.
Cody Sandhagen fight? Corey Sandhagen? I said Cody. Is it Cody or Corey? Corey.
I always think it's Cody, but I'm pretty sure it's Corey.
Corey, yeah.
I think he's just gonna fucking walk him down, take him down, and submit him fast. Yeah. I think that Rodolfo Vieira is tough as shit. And he knows he's that type of guy where he can trust his BJJ so much, just like his last fight. He had a giant gash, like a 6-inch gash on his forehead. And he had the mental to know, okay, this is a bad cut. Number one, if I'm grappling, my face is not as visible, so the refs can't call it. So nobody can fucking stop this fight. They can't call a doctor in here, and let this not go to let me do what I got to do to fucking finish it. He knew he had the mind frame to go in there and just say, I need to take this dude out. He's got dangerous submissions. Like you said, he is one of the most decorated BJJ practitioners, not even just in the UFC and all of MMA.
Yeah. He's a fucking real deal dude.
And you don't see a lot of BJJ practitioners like his body frame, just fucking jacked. Like he's to the gills. Like USADA, go knock on his door because this dude might break it down.
He's not passing that smell test that Novinci used to talk about. There's no fucking way. This dude's jacked. Yeah, the prop for him to finish, or excuse me, prop for him to win by submission is -190. That's tempting there. That's not
how he wins.
And then if for whatever reason Hernandez can withstand this, Rivero by points is +600. I don't think Rivero by KO is 1100. I don't see that happening. Crazier things have happened because he's a big dude. He probably can. I mean, in Hernandez, but Rivera by submission, I think is a prop that you gotta kind of play. I know it's the most square pick in the world, and it's the most obvious pick, and everyone's gonna be given an out. But I think there's a reason for that because he's that fucking good, right? It's like when Francis Ngannou fights. Like you're gonna bet the prop he's gonna knock somebody out. Like this is kind of the same thing. All right, let's move on to the main card. I believe, are we main card in it yet? Or no, one more prelim. Oh, no, main card. Excuse me. Julian Marquez, 7-2, -176 favorite. Fighting, I'm all mixed up here. Fighting Maki Pitolo, 13-7, again, I lost it. +142. My card's different than Tapology. I'm getting a little mixed up here. All right, I'll break this one down. First, listen, Marquez is a guy. He was the guy that was supposed to be the star from the Contender Series. It wasn't supposed. I mean, O'Malley became the star, but he was the guy that knocked out Phil Rowe in a fucking absolute banger. Phil Hall, excuse me. This absolute banger, hairy guy, chin of steel, and he was supposed to be the next fucking I'm gonna knock you out guy. Injuries plagued him, and then he fought in the UFC and he fucking lost the decision to Chiquio, and you know he owns a Top Golf and he has a podcast with a porn star. So I don't know how big his fighting desire is. However, I think he's a legit dude. I think he has good power. He's a little slow. He's big for 185. He has a good chin. I don't see Pitolo putting him out. Pitolo undersized for 185, has big legs, good boxing. It's kind of a rough stretch. He's fought some really good guys as of late. He got choked out by Darren Stewart. And then who did he just drop a decision to? He dropped a decision to Impa Kasananai. Yeah, he dropped a decision to Impa Kasananai, which was a good fight. Another solid 185er. I see this fight happening a lot like the Impa fight. I see Marquez putting a nice little pace on him, being a little too big, a little too size for him, and boxing him up a little bit. I think it's going to be a really good fight. I actually like Pitolo at plus odds. I don't have the best pulse of this fight. This is a fight that was hard for me to pick for whatever reason, just probably because we haven't seen a ton of Marquez. But I do know he's a big, powerful guy. I do know Pitolo has good boxing himself, but has faded in fights and kind of wilts to some pressure sometimes. So I'm gonna go Marquez for that reason. I'm gonna go Marquez at -176. I don't know if I'm gonna play it though, because I'm a little uneasy about it. I don't have a good pulse for it. Dev?
This is a weird fight because it's like, do you go with the guy that has shown, you know, little glimpses of being really talented but still dropping fights, or a guy that just hasn't fought? Like you said, I'm concerned with Marquez's, you know, want to fight and his need to fight. Like if he owns a Top Golf, he does a podcast with Kendra Lust. Like I think
he's like a partner. I don't know if he owns it outright, but he's definitely like a partner in Vegas Top Golf. And then yeah, he has the podcast with what's her name, Kendra something. I don't know her work. I'm
this guy's pretending to not know who she is.
Whatever her name, Kendra Lust. I think I don't know.
Check his history.
Yeah.
Because he's deleting his history right now.
Right now, currently.
Maki Pitolo, I think he probably has the potential to be a better fighter than Julian Marquez. Sorry. I think he's got the potential to be a better fighter. I think he's got faster hands, and I think he's a better combination puncher. But what worries me is Marquez's power, his durability, and his will to stick in someone's face. I think he's slow-footed. I think Maki Pitolo is the better boxer. Like, I'm sure if they were sparring boxing, Maki Pitolo would get the better of the exchanges. But I just don't. I think when push comes to shove, Marquez can get in there, make it dirty, and potentially finish Pitolo. I think Pitolo doesn't love to be pressured. I think when he's got his back against the cage, he doesn't look great. When he's got his opponents shelled up, he loves to go to the body. He changes up his hand speed. He switches up power. It's really nice to watch. Like his finish on the Contender Series, like watching that finish on the Contender Series and then watching his fight with Impa Kasanganay, it's just kind of like, you know, where is his head at? I feel like his head is a big factor with how he shows up, because I do think he has the capability to be good. He's
his boxing great. He just folded under pressure to Impa. Impa just did not take a step back. If you watch that fight, I just rewatched it recently. Maki was landing beautiful body shots. They were doing great exchanges. He was landing clean shots on Impa, and Impa was just a machine.
Just
clean shots back and just kept walking forward, and that's distracting to a young fighter who's like, wait, these usually put people down. Like, why isn't this guy fucking going down?
You come from a boxing background, so there's certain things that you can do, even to not allow yourself to get walked down like that. There's certain things you can do, like just depending on your footwork and circling out, you can switch the angle on a pressuring fighter and discontinue that right away without having to hurt them and earn their respect. So there's little things, there's little intricacies that, I mean, that's just with a lot of MMA fighters. They train so many different things. They don't have the time to just work on 100% footwork and 100% striking.
Give me your pick.
I'm gonna go with Marquez though.
I thought you were going Pitolo, dude.
I would like to see Pitolo win this fight because I think he needs to win it more. But
100%. His back's against the wall for sure. I think we'll get cut. I mean, he's an exciting kid, but I think if he loses this in an unimpressive fashion, I think he gets cut.
I mean, they just cut Sarah Morris.
Yo, you got choked out by Darian Stewart. Like
Darian Stewart's pretty good.
Yeah, pretty good. Not a fucking dudes though.
Yeah, well, yeah, exactly. I mean, it's tough. It's just tough. I just think he's got. I think he's got to get out of his own head. I think he knows his back's against the wall, and if he really comes and shows out, I think he can win the fight. But I just think Marquez hits too hard and he's too tough. Like if Phil Hawes couldn't blast him and put him out of there, right. Like I don't think.
Yeah, and he got hit by Phil Hawes big time. That was a fun fight. All right, next up, Bobby King Green, 27-11-1. He is a -2. Was it 80? 280 something? 280 maybe 280 favorite versus Jim Miller. 32-15 plus 220 underdog. Devin, who do you like in this fight? This fight got to put together
recently,
week and a half maybe. Let me read those lines again because I couldn't read my handwriting. Yeah, so Bobby Green is a -280 favorite.
It's like all over. I don't like the line. I don't think that line should be where it is. I think Jim Miller's. They both have fought the who's, for
a while.
It's Bobby Green's retired and come back, and he's looked really good as of late. He's got really good striking. It's kind of almost Anderson Silva-esque. Like there's glimpses of it with the straight shots.
Bobby Green, Anderson. No, dude, take that back.
I'm not
even close.
He's not the greatest fighter.
He's knock anybody out. Pillow hands.
He doesn't hit very hard. He's pretty technical. He's got good timing with the striking. He's got good takedown defense. I think he gives up too many close decisions. I think that's his biggest fucking problem. His biggest problem is he gives up way too many close fights. Like the Clay Guida fight, that a lot of people thought Guida won that fight. I personally didn't, but there's just a lot of close fights that it's hard to say who won the fight. You won a bunch of money off of fucking what's his name that I don't think
Moises plus 850 by decision, baby.
I don't think Moises won that fight, but like
I actually do, and I'm biased because I want Keish. But I do. I think Bobby Green just doesn't do enough.
It's too close. It's like he's not and he's got all the talent in the world to fucking do it. Like if he just said, fuck it, I'm gonna let my hands go and rely on my takedown defense, and maybe I'll get taken down, but I'll get back up and I'm gonna let my fucking hands go. Because if he lets his fucking hands go on Jim Miller gets touched a lot. You're gonna play Jim Miller because you've said it already, and I think it's a smart play. I think Jim Miller's got good enough grappling and he's tough enough to get in there, and he likes to throw. He's got good kicks. Jim Miller's got good striking. Jim Miller's tougher than shit. He doesn't have Lyme disease. He's got his Lyme disease under control. I just like Bobby Green.
You have Lyme disease, don't you? You live in the woods.
Dude,
Lyme disease?
No, my girl thought she had Lyme disease last year.
You get bit by a tick, right? Is that what it is?
There's no ticks with Lyme disease in the Pacific Northwest.
But that's how you get.
That's how you get it, though.
Yeah.
It's like from a certain deer tick that they don't have them here, but like in the Midwest and then down south they have that shit.
No, well, he's from Jersey.
Yeah,
You have him in Jersey. They have him East Coast.
I'm not.
Well, let's not talk about Lyman.
What the fuck are we talking? This is what the tick doctor told my chick.
All right, who you picking, bro?
I'm going Bobby Green. You're going Jim Miller.
When did I tell you I was going Jim Miller? When did I say that?
Like when this fight first got announced.
Yeah, I'm going Jim Miller, motherfucker. Plus 220. Yes. Listen, Bobby Green, you hit the nail on the head. Too many close decisions. I think this is absurd, him being this bigger favorite. You're right. I think he's the better fighter right now than Jim Miller. I think he has better cardio. I think his striking is better. I think Jim Miller has better ground game, but I don't think he's going to get it there. I think we're going to push the pace on Bobby Green. They're going to do a stand-up fight, and really, whoever's judging the fight is going to be the deciding factor. This is not going to be a finish. This is going to go to decision. Just looked it up. Jim Miller by points is plus 550. I'm taking that as well because you got to. That's 50-50 in a Bobby Green fight. You don't know who's fucking judging this. Jim Miller is going to be bleeding in the fight, right? So judges might look at that, but listen, plus 550 decision win over Bobby Green. You're taking it. I'm taking Jim Miller at plus 220 as well. I like the underdog play here. Yeah, I like that. I like that fight. And they made it short notice. So I know Bobby Green is always in shape. I don't know if Jim Miller's in shape. Jim Miller's cardio has been a little suspect lately. Did you raise your hand? Yeah,
I did. So what's the I didn't want to cut you off, but I wanted you to know that I had a question for you. What's the prop that this goes the distance?
Oh, it's high. I think everyone's reading that. I think I just looked at it. So will the fight go to the distance? Yes, minus 205. No, plus 154. Damn. Not too crazy. Over rounds, over 1.5, 430. That's giant right there. So I would probably stay away from I would prop it by points. Bobby Green by points, because that's the only way Bobby Green's gonna win this fight too. He's not finishing Jim Miller. Method of victory. Bobby Green by points is a minus 125. So you're getting a better price than 270. But I still think the advantage
is crazy. 270 is just nuts, man.
Yeah, it's high. I think the advantage is on Jim Miller's side there. Okay, next up. Next fight, we're chugging along here. A weird one to me. Kelvin Gastelum, 16-6. He is a minus 245 favorite. He is fighting Ian Heinisch, who is 14-3, plus 194. I lead the dance here. Listen, Kelvin Gastelum's a guy who I think is incredibly talented. I think he's lacked focus in the past. He's missed weight. He's coming out of shape. There's something going on with him currently. I hope that he's motivated. He's on a 3-fight skid. He had that absolute one of the best fights I've ever seen. Definitely the best fight I've ever seen live with Israel Adesanya, who I think is the GOAT middleweight. And then he's kind of fallen off the face of the earth. He's lost some fights that he shouldn't have lost. The Darren Till fight was extremely close. He got caught by Jack Hermanson, which was ridiculous. Jack Hermanson's very good, but it was a sloppy effort in Kelvin. I saw no urgency to get out of that leg lock. And yeah, he needs to rebound well here because Ian Heinisch, to me, is not a player at 185. I know he's ranked, but this is a guy who was very average, who is getting by on his physical attributes. He's very strong. He's got good cardio. He's not great everywhere. His striking's average, right? He knocked out Gerald Moskart, big fucking deal. His ground game is very average. I think this is a guy who relies on his toughness, heart, and his story. This is a guy that blonde hair, blue-eyed, fucking white dude that was sent to fucking hardcore prison for drugs. Like, there's going to be a movie made on this guy. He doesn't fit that model, right? So that's why he's getting the push. I think he has fought some tough guys, and maybe I am underselling Ian Heinisch a little bit here. I do see some people I respect picking Heinisch in this fight for the simple fact that Kelvin is on the skid. I'm going to go Kelvin, though. I do think Kelvin's just a superior fighter. I think he's a better striker. I think he can prevent the fight from getting to the ground. I think he can take the fight to the ground if he wanted to. I'm going to go Kelvin Gastelum here. I feel pretty confident in this pick. I've been on Kelvin Gastelum since this fight got announced. And yeah, this is just maybe I'm a hater Ian Heinisch guy. Maybe he'll make me eat my words, or maybe I'll be taking this to the bank because this is a fight I do plan on betting. Yeah, Deb.
So this is like, I'm just wondering at what point does Kelvin stop being able to hang on to the Israel Adesanya fight?
Never. That fight was unreal.
But it's like, I think that might be the top of his mountain. I really think that might be the top of his mountain at this fucking point. Like, he's a 170-pound fighter fighting at 185 because he can't get his shit together. and fight at the proper weight class.
You know, what's funny? Hold on. His personal trainer is his girlfriend. That's why he's never in shape. His personal trainer is his fucking girlfriend.
You're bullshitting me.
I swear to God, they said it on the Embedded 1. He was working out, like tossing the medicine ball and pushing sleds and stuff. And they interview his personal trainer, and it's said on the bottom, like personal trainer, whatever, for whatever sport / girlfriend.
Yeah, that's not good.
She ain't making him work. I mean, maybe in the bedroom, but she ain't making him work.
Yeah, that's not good. That's not a good sign.
No, it's not.
And like, that's not a good sign. He's
For a guy who has weight problems, right? He should be at 70, has missed weight at 85, which I think is a complete joke because he's not a big guy. And then his performances have lacked as of late. So
it's weird.
Yeah.
I just don't know who shows up. I don't think that Ian Heinisch is a knockout threat to him, and I don't think he's a submission threat to him. Kelvin Gastelum is super tough, like he showed in the Izzy fight. Izzy didn't put him out. He hurt Izzy a bunch of times. Izzy hurt him a bunch of times. It was a fucking back and forth war. I just don't. It just is crazy to me that he's such a lackadaisical dude. Like, he sometimes just doesn't give a fuck. I don't know if he's like not getting warmed up in the back. Like, maybe he's the guy that needs to do one hard fucking round and break a sweat. And, you know, his first round in the octagon is his second round. He might be that guy. I don't know what he's doing. I don't know if he's warming up. I don't know what he needs to do to really light a fire, but maybe there needs to be something more at stake on the line, like the Izzy fight with a belt or something. Because what happened with Jack Hermanson is he got put in a knee bar, and he was tapping because his leg was going to get blown up before he even tried to escape. He was like, I'm okay. And he's just the same thing with the Darren Till fight. Like, Darren Till is an imposing guy, but like neither one of them are active. Why?
Melvin's scared of Darren Till. That's all it was, dude. He fucking just scared.
But that's how he felt. Like, just you had a war with a really good fucking fighter in Israel.
Maybe that took it out of him. Maybe that war took more out of him than we know.
Why did he not?
Like,
why didn't he stand in the pocket and go to work? I think if he fucking bites down and stands in the pocket, he can fucking knock out anyone at 185.
Yeah, dude, he fucking
he cracks.
It was Bisping's last fight, but that knockout of Bisping was fucking brutal. All right, so you're picking Ian Heinisch.
No, I'm going Gastelum too. I don't think Ian. It's make it or break it for Kelvin Gastelum. And if he loses this fight, I'll never fucking pick him again. I'll pick against him till forever. I just don't think Ian Heinisch can hurt him on the feet. Ian Heinisch is a good scrambler, like against Shoeface. He was hitting fucking Granby rolls left and right. He's really athletic. Kelvin's athletic as well. Doesn't look like it, but I just don't know if Ian Heinisch has the power to stand with him on the feet, and I don't think he's good enough to take him down and submit him. So it's either going to be a Darren Till-like fight, or Kelvin Gastelum is going to say fuck it and bite his mouthpiece down and hopefully throw down. That's what I'm hoping for.
Well, the Darren Till fight was very close. Darren Till is a guy that he wants to counter, he wants to draw you in, he wants to point fight you. Darren Till, I mean, he has knockouts, but I mean that's his ultimate game. He did it with Wonder Boy, he did it with Robert, and he did it with Kelvin. He wants to draw you in, and he's going to play his game. Ian Heinisch is not the striker of Darren Till. I think Ian's going to come out. He's going to try to swing big, and I think Kelvin's going to counter well off him. All right, co-main event, kind of a weak co-main event. Maycee Barber minus 108, 8-1. She's the underdog here. Slight underdog versus Alexis Grasso, minus 132. She is 12-3. Dev, you lead the dance here. I already know who you're taking. You've already told me. So tell me why you're taking Grasso.
When I said Grasso, I immediately expected her to be like a 2-1 underdog, honestly, just because of the name from Maycee Barber and all the hype that was surrounding her.
Like that's it, bro.
I'm very surprised that Maycee Barber is the underdog here. I think it's a tough fight to pick.
Even after coming off the big loss, she was a plus she was like an 800, 900 favorite, and Roxy beat her. Vegas can't trust her. Vegas lost a lot of money on that. They're like, nah, we ain't trusting this bitch. Coming off a knee injury fairly quickly, being that young, fighting a solid girl.
It's a tough one to pick. Like I said, I was leaning Grasso. I've been leaning Grasso. I still think I'm going to lean Grasso, but there's certain things that worry me about Alexa Grasso. Like, she's got losses to like Carla Esparza and shit like that. And Carla Esparza is not a big not a big intimidating fighter, and that's at 125. Grasso's really good. Like the losses to Felicia Herrig also are worrisome. Those are the kind of losses that are fucking worrisome to me.
4 years ago, though. 4 years ago.
You're right. I think Grasso has been the nail in more fights than Barbara has. I think the first time Barbara's really ever been the nail outside of the JJ Aldrich fight was against Roxy. I think Maycee Barber's problem is she's not as good as she really thinks she is. She's a fucking juggernaut in the octagon. She is going to try to impose her will and break women, get in their face. She hits hard for a 125er. She's a big girl. She's athletic. I just don't think her striking is very technical. I don't think she's got really good footwork. Like in the JJ Aldrich fight, she was getting pieced up. She got hurt. Pretty sure she got dropped in the first round. Came back and finished JJ Aldrich because JJ Aldrich crumbled. I don't know if Alexa Grasso is going to crumble like that. I think Grasso can stay in her face. I don't know if Grasso can get a finish, but I really think she can weather a small storm that Barbara's going to have, because she's going to come out and she's going to be imposing. She's going to try to be a brute. I think Grasso has the better footwork. I think she's a little more tough. Maycee Barber is coming off of a big time injury that she got in the Roxy fight. She hasn't fought in a year. I just don't think she should have learned. She should have started learning from the JJ Aldrich fight. And I think she just chalked it up to, okay, I wasn't all there, but I still won the fight. I don't think she went back and learned from that. I think the Roxy fight, she finally realized, hey, I got to start fucking switching some things up, because I can't lose fights like this. But I'm still going to rock with Alexa Grasso. I don't love Maycee Barber being the underdog. I swore up and down that Grasso would be the underdog. And that's why I leaned her, but I'm still going to go with Grasso. I also don't like what Maycee Barber did after that fight, like grabbing the mic from Rob.
You were upset about
that. Shit pissed me off, dude. Same thing as what's her face, dude, leaving the gloves in the octagon after the loss. That shit pissed me off too.
You're picking Grasso. You told me that. I remember you telling me that.
Yeah.
So Maycee Barber, all these shining stars in the UFC as of late, a lot of these shining stars in the UFC of late have fallen short, right? The golden stars, and Maycee Barber is the golden star at 125, right? She wants to break John Jones's record. So she has laid out, I'm going to win this fight, then go give me someone else, and then I'll fight for the title. And that's very possible at 125. 125 is very thin. They need contenders, and Maycee Barber is a marketable girl who is athletic, who's exciting, who has a lot of finishes. All her wins come from finish besides one. Looked horrible in the Roxy fight, admittedly. But you know what? I want to fade Maycee so bad because of what she did with being that huge of a favorite, right? Roxanne Modafferi, since that fight, is like 500 or something. It's not like Roxy had this huge resurgence in her career. The only difference was she hired a strength and conditioning coach, and Maycee blamed the knee, which I don't really think it's the knee. I think Maycee just wasn't ready for a vet like Roxy yet. She looks in incredible shape. I watched the embedded. She's training in the room. Big. She looks in shape. She looks motivated. I think she knows how important this fight is. I think this is a great fight for her. Grasso has some ugly losses on her record, some submission losses. She's a great striker. I think she's going to really, really prevent the takedown. I think that's what she has to do. I'm going to go Maycee. Just she's meaner. She's tougher. She's the underdog. Not really. I mean, she's definitely not the underdog in life, but she's definitely the underdog in this fight at plus 108. I actually like it by finish too. I think Maycee can get it done by finish. For her to win by KO, TKO is plus 500. I like that. I think she's aggressive. I think she's got this craziness in her mind. And coming off this knee injury is scary. She might not look all that great. Physically, she looks great, but we don't know what she's going to look like in there. But I like Maycee Barber in this spot here. I like her as the underdog. I like her. So let's go main event time. Big fight. Really, the only fight to pay for the pay-per-view. If you're going to pay for it, there's some really good fights in here, but this is a great main event. Kamaru Usman, 17-1. He is a minus 290 favorite. That number is coming down. I believe the last time I looked, he was in the 270 range. He's fighting Gilbert Burns. He is 19-4, I believe. He is a plus 225 underdog. Who went first? Yeah, Dev, you go, or I go first. Excuse me. Sorry. Yeah, you went first last time. Everyone knows I'm an Usman guy. So let me see the other. So 290, 225 is still the line on FanDuel. You can get them less elsewhere. The book I play is FanDuel. Everyone knows I'm an Usman guy. I love Usman. I've been on him since the Ultimate Fighter days, the Black Zillion days. I just saw something in his mental. I saw the way he prepared. He's impressed me. Every single fight he does, he impresses me. I know the Masvidal fight was a little lackluster, and everyone was propping Masvidal for taking that fight on short notice. Absolutely. People also got to give credit for Kamaru for taking that fight. It's a dangerous fight. You know, Kamaru had a broken nose in that fight leading up to it. And it was a dangerous fight, and he went out there and gave a lackluster performance, but he won the fight. That's the most important thing. I think there's going to be some redemption here. These are two guys that have trained together over 200 rounds. They've cornered each other. They're buddies. And Kamaru went and left. Henry Hoof is not going to be in Gilbert Burns' corner, and I think I don't think Henry Hoof trained Burns for this fight, actually. And I think out of respect of Usman, and Usman went and got one of the best trainers in the game, and Trevor Whitman. Trevor Whitman, I think, is only going to make him more confident because he's a positive coach, only going to make him more confident in his hands. But Kamaru's got it. The best thing Kamaru does in MMA is mix it up. He's not the best boxer. His wrestling is really good. He's big for the division, but I don't think he's the best wrestler in the division. And I don't think his submissions, obviously, he's not going to submit anybody. I don't think he can get submitted, or no, he can get submitted. I think he prepares himself not to get submitted. With Gilbert Burns, people are asking, well, what is he going to do? Is he going to take the fight to the ground? Because Gilbert is world class on the ground. Gilbert's knocking dudes out lately, right? Kamaru, though, has this pressure that he puts on guys. And I went back and I watched Gilbert Burns fight Tyron Woodley for 5 rounds. And Tyron Woodley's not putting pressure on you, right? Gilbert Burns went all 5 rounds. He looked good. His cardio was there, but you're not getting Tyron Woodley in 5 rounds here. You're getting a guy who's not going to slow down, who's going to be in your face for 5 rounds. This is going to be a very, very tough fight for Kamaru Usman. Without a doubt, they both know each other really well. I've watched training footage of them. The stand-up was very competitive. I know it's just training. It's just practice. We're just talking about practice. But Kamaru Usman's really got to fucking mix it up really well here. I think he can't be afraid to take him down. You can't. He went for no takedowns against Colby because I feel like he didn't know if he could. I think he needs to be more confident in his game. I think he knows if he takes Gilbert down, let him get back up. Don't play the jiu-jitsu game and just beat him up. It's going to be an incredibly close fight. I'm obviously going Kamaru here. This is a guy that I was saying before you got on, there's not a lot of plays on this card that I'm a bet. Last week, I think I had like 11 bets. This week, I'm only going to maybe have 4 or 5, and Kamaru is going to be one of them. He's a guy I'm going to go heavy on, even though he is pretty heavy at minus 290. I like him that much. Dev, I actually don't know who you're picking. My guess was Burns, but we'll see. Go ahead. Floor's yours.
So this is what I don't like is Henry Hoof not coaching Gilbert Burns in this fight, even though I know he did it out of respect for Usman, but at the same time, Usman left your camp and went to Trevor Whitman. So I would argue that Trevor Whitman might be an even better striking coach and a better mental coach than Henry Hoof, even though Henry Hoof is absolutely amazing. So it's like Kamaru Usman went somewhere that I would, if I was an MMA fighter, I'd rather be fighting for Trevor Whitman.
Correct.
That's not a knock against Henry Hoof. I think Stanford MMA is great. I think Henry Hoof is amazing. But I think that the way Trevor Whitman speaks to his fighters, I think the way he can coach them is probably better than anyone.
Yeah, that's my stuff. I'm not a drill sergeant guy. Like, we had a quick little story. I had a guy come in off the street teaching it, like, literally was like a professional boxer. He's like in his 50s, right? But he's a professional boxer. He would come in and he would try to coach us up, right? And we would spar with him, we work with him, and he was very drill sergeant-y. And he would bring in guys from his. We have no idea where he came from. And eventually he got not escorted out, but police told him to leave. But he was so drill sergeant-y, and it pisses me off. That's why, I mean, I'm not brave enough to join any of the military, so that's another reason. But also, I don't like being bossed around, and that's just not my style. And Trevor Whitman is such like a sweetheart, like positive, motivating energy. Like, if I was a professional fighter, I'm going to Colorado 100%.
It's not even because he can be drill sergeant-y. Like, he's told Justin Gaethje, like,
right, yeah, right. Like,
he knows how to talk to you. That's what it is.
Stern, which I appreciate. But like, if you're like that all the time, then I'm already done listening to you.
He's not. He's like a very, very, very mental guy. Like, he knows how to talk to people. He knows how to talk to his fighters. He knows how to talk to them to get them to perform to the best of their abilities. Look what he's done to Rose Namajunas. Look what he's done with Justin Gaethje. Like, I think Kamaru, obviously his weakest point is his striking. I think he's great at mixing it up. I think he has very, very underrated footwork. He's really good at cutting off the cage. When people try to circle out on him and get on their bike, he's really, really good at cutting them off. For a guy that it's really bizarre because a lot of people mostly will have good and fast hands, but not the best footwork. And it's just like the other way around for him. His hands aren't good. They're not bad, but they're not good. But his footwork's really good. He's really good at pressuring. He's really good at cutting angles. He's really good at cutting people off. He's not a very straight puncher, even though he did drop Colby with that straight right. A lot of his shots are looping punches. I think his number one. I think if Kamaru Usman was the size of Gilbert Burns, he would not be the welterweight champion. He uses his physicality. He is one of those guys that knows how to use his physicality and knows how to use it to its 100% full potential. The complete opposite of Stefan Struve using his size for length and and range. I think Kamaru Usman's number one asset, the thing he does the best is use his physicality. He's big and fucking strong. He knows he's strong. He's probably bigger than I think the only dude that's bigger than him at 170 is Michel Pereira. I think that's the only dude that's bigger than Usman.
Yeah, taller. For sure, taller. Yeah, he's a big kid. Usman's got small legs, though.
It's weird.
Really big upper body, but his legs, like I'm afraid that like Gilbert might start kicking those fucking calves.
That's the thing.
He doesn't have fucking calves, so his legs are very small.
I think Gilbert Burns is the more explosive guy.
Yeah.
I think Gilbert Burns gets from 0 to 60 faster than Kamaru Usman. I think Kamaru Usman's got more horsepower. I think Kamaru Usman's got the better gas tank. I think Kamaru Usman's got more durability. I think Gilbert Burns has to finish him in this fight. If you watch the Colby Covington fight, Kamaru, even though he won by knockout, anybody else that hit harder than Colby would have put him out because he got stung a lot in that fight. A lot of times he would get hit, and it wasn't where he would be put on skates because Colby didn't hit him hard enough. But when dudes are they're in the middle of a striking exchange and they'll get hit and they'll bite down and they'll like freeze up for a second and then they'll go again. Like he was getting touched and he would like stop for a second and he was like, oh, that one I didn't like, and he would go again. I don't think he has the greatest striking defense. Gilbert Burns really, really has to get in there and get nasty with him. Like
nasty. Let's get a pick here because I got a question from the chat here for you.
What's the question?
Question is from Boy Christian. Dev, what weighs more, you or the biggest fish you ever caught?
Ooh, biggest fish I ever caught by far.
Yeah, right. Dude, would you catch a shark?
Yeah. I've got like 1,000-pound lemon shark. So I'm
you got?
I didn't have a pick for this. I knew you were going Usman. I wanted to kind of see what we go different on.
Green as Dev. Who you got?
I am going to play the underdog as Gilbert. I think
I was hoping you did that. It's a competitive fight. And this is a fight where handicappers need to be split. The line, I feel like I get it. Kamaru's the undefeated champion. He hasn't lost in the UFC. Very dominating. Gilbert Burns. To me, I feel like some of his wins are a little blah. But he's definitely deserving for the shot. Yeah.
It's really tough. They know, these guys fucking know who's gotten the better of what in training.
And I think Kamaru knows it was him because he seems more confident and he's the champ, right? He could have been like, no, let me fight fucking whoever again, right? Yeah. He wanted this. This fight was made like 2 or 3 times. If you like Rashad Evans knew that John was better and Rashad ran from that fight until he couldn't run anymore. That's just facts, right? And Kamaru's not running for this. Kamaru's like, let's go, right? I bet you I've seen the videos of just what they showed us. It was very competitive, right? They weren't going full force. It was whatever. Sure. And I know Gilbert has talked about submitting Kamaru before, which obviously is going to happen. Everyone gets tapped. But yeah, I feel like the advantage is on Kamaru's side. I feel like the early senses he's getting the more confident. And Gilbert's just like, I'm not passing up a title shot. I could catch this guy. Fuck it. I don't have 16-ounce gloves on in the cage. I got fucking 4 ounces. I can catch.
And I hit hard, and I know I hit. I know we both know that in the pocket, in an exchange, that's Gilbert Burns' way to win this fight.
Yeah.
My question is, can Kamaru Usman press him up against the cage impose a clinch game because you're
I
not
want
getting
to see his cardio. I want to see Burns' cardio. That's my biggest question here because Kamaru doesn't fucking stop. I mean, he out cardioed Colby. Colby was tired in that 5th round.
Yeah,
he says he was tired. That pressure was too much, and Kamaru just doesn't stop.
Kamaru, and what's crazy, what worries me more than anything too is when you watch the Tyron Woodley fight. There was moments where Tyron Woodley would flurry forward, and it's Tyron Woodley. He cracks everybody. He's got big knockouts. He's got big power. You do have to evade. You have to evade those shots. Gilbert Burns doesn't really work at angles when he's fighting off his back foot. If I notice it, Trevor Whitman's going to notice it. And if Gilbert Burns walks straight up and lets his back touch the fence, he lost that round. If Kamaru Usman is within striking range and Gilbert Burns back against the fence, Gilbert Burns lost that round. He's not getting finished there, but he lost that round. And that's what worries me. And if I pick that up, Trevor Whitman's picking that up. And I'm on the fence with it. I'm still on the fence with it.
You're written down. We're already written down. We're moving on.
Tough, man.
What are your locks? Let's give you your locks.
Ooh.
So obviously we can't have the same locks. I'll let you pick first. Do you want to go send him home, mortal, or underdog lock? Which one do you want to have the first pick at?
Can you tell me my underdogs real quick?
Yeah, you got excuse me, you got Gilbert Burns, you got Polyana Viana, you got Phil Rowe, and that's it. Yep, that's it.
Oh, it's between Polyana and Phil Rowe. Give me Phil Rowe.
Phil Rowe as your underdog lock. Full disclosure, I had him written down as mine, but I assumed you were going to take that. I believe I said that pre-fight as well. So my underdog lock is going to be, let me play my little jingle so I can think of it.
Be a dog. We don't need no meows. We don't need no cats. We need more dogs.
We do need more dogs. You know what? I'm gonna go Macy Barber as my underdog lock.
Oh yeah.
She was my backup. She's a small underdog lock. I'm gonna play her anyway. She was gonna fight. That was a fight that I was gonna play. I'm not overly confident in that, but I do like the small number next to her name. So we're gonna mortal lock. I'm gonna leave with my mortal lock because I think people know where I'm going with this. Motherfucking Kamaru Usman, mortal lock. I think he puts a pace on Gilbert Burns. I think Gilbert Burns is going to look really good in the early rounds. And then this is a fucking championship fight, baby. This is 5 rounds. He's going to get pressured, slow down. I think Kamaru is going to eventually take it over. I'm hoping Gilbert Burns does not have a really great leg kicking game because now that I mentioned it, I'm really worried about how skinny Kamaru's legs are. And calf kicks are hot right now. I'm going to go mortal lock, Kamaru Usman for sure, because that's a fighter that I'm gonna play. I'm gonna play him straight, and I'm gonna do him on a parlay as well. So Kamaru Usman mortal lock. Dev, who's your mortal lock, babe?
So I guess you snuck that in perfectly because he's not yet a minus 300.
If he was 500, I'd pick him.
No, but you're mortal lock and lose a point.
Yeah, I'll risk a point on Kamaru if he was a minus. Let me tell you. If he gets up above 300, I'll honor the negative points. That's how confident I am.
So at what point are people going to start saying about Kamaru Usman the same things that they said about Khabib, where he's too big compared to everybody else and he needs to move up? At what point are they going to say that?
I think after he beats Burns and then
one more guy.
And then maybe if he fights Chimaev, if he ever gets there, maybe the rematch, because Colby and Jorge are going to be on the Ultimate Fighter. They're going to fight. The winner of that will fight Kamaru eventually down the road. And then I think he's going to have to fight Chimaev, Leon Edwards. And then once he cleans that out, then I think maybe 85 is his next step. Again, it's just his lower body's just not his legs are skinny, dude. 185, he's going to be very top heavy. All right, mortal lock. Who do you got?
Mortal lock. Give me Rodolfo Vieira.
All right, you're risking a point.
Wait, hold on.
You're risking that point because he's 430.
Shit,
I don't bring that to your attention. I think that's a good pick. He was going to be my send him home. So if you don't pick him as that, I'm picking him as a send him home.
So you lose a point for if he doesn't send him home, then, right? Or is it?
I was going to play that way, but we can. Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Just mortal lock is your best bet, right? You want to give your best bet out to people. So if you're picking very chalky things and they lose, you should be punished for that. Send him home is more of like a prop play, obviously.
It's a shot. Fuck it. I'll risk the point, bro.
There
Give
you
it
go.
to me.
Yeah, I think it's a good I think it's a good risk. Moral lock. All right. So
Only because I don't like Ricky Simone, dude. That's the only reason why. If I liked Ricky Simone, I would have picked him. But
so go ahead and give me your send him home. You get to pick first.
ooh, send him home. This one's for Tim.
Or get him out of here.
This
Is my
is
new
for Tim. Miranda Maverick.
Miranda Maverick, send him home.
Send him home. That's for Tim. Shout out to Virginia.
That doesn't work because she's a female, but get him out of here. Send him home for Dev Tejada, and we're looking at Miranda Maverick. Full disclosure, she was my backup. I had Vieira as my send him home. If he wasn't going to get it done, I was going to go Maverick. Now I got to look at the board here. Send him home, send him home, send him home. Who am I going to pick? Send him home, send him home, send him home.
Send him home. Send him home early.
Bilal Muhammad. Bilal Muhammad, send him home.
God, so you think he's gonna finish? When does Bilal Muhammad finish?
I think he's got some sneaky chokes. I don't love. I mean, Diego Lima's chinny as well. I'm gonna go Bilal Muhammad. I'm not. Listen, this is part of the game. I had to pick a send him home. I think if you're listening, right, and this is a gambling show, your send him home. Your prop should go towards Vieira. It showed good towards like a Miranda Maverick. I even love Macy Barber as a send him home. And then there's some, and a lot of the other fights are kind of mixed up in the air. I'll do a prop show, but as far as the game, I'm going to pick Bilal Muhammad. This isn't a bet I'm going to make though. I don't think he's going to probably do that. And it's plus 300. I like that. So I might do it. So maybe I'm going to go back on my. All right, Dad, that's it. It's getting late here, bud. I got to go give the kids a bath and fucking go get some sleep, man. Get some sleep. Work tomorrow. It's snowy here. All right, brother.
Take care, man. What's the weather like there before I let you go? It's fucking cold here.
It's 19 degrees. Hold on. What is it? It is 22 degrees, and we got 9 inches of snow on Wednesday morning, and then we got another 4 inches yesterday morning. So yeah, not going great, but we're making it work, bud. All right.
Hey, take care, man.
All right. See you, bud. I'll see you. We'll talk on the fights.
Yes, sir.